Like I need any encouragement for that. We're on, are we? Here we go. It's like old times here. We've got Paris over here. We've got Steffi over there. Studio full of kids having fun. Letters tonight are these. Thank you, Michael. The coffee was a little bit strong. But anyway, I'll be awake tonight. Everyone in Gen Y is a selfish, self-centred major a-hole with very few exceptions, except all the kids working here at Sweet and Sour. Letter number 2. Then my boss turned into a super bitch. Oh, I must have written that. And my boss used to be, yeah, anyway. I'll have a few things to say there on that one, I think. And the final letter tonight, it's time to stop getting married and having babies, because this particular woman from Perth, WA, has got better ideas for all of us. All these letters and terrific load of panellists coming up right away. Don't go away. See you soon. Got a problem, big or small, would a miracle be nice? Our motley crew is back, churning out advice. You might even laugh a bit in the following half hour. Park your backside on the couch, cause baby it's time for Sweet and Sour. Right here on... Okay. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Sweet and Sour. Gary Mitchell with you for the next half hour and a terrific lineup of guests tonight. First up, he's been away. He's been travelling Europe for... How many months did you do? 3 months at least.
3 months in Europe.
Steve Maccora, welcome back to Sweet and Sour.
Thanks, Gary. Good to be back. I tell you what, I will never complain about the cost of a cup of coffee in Perth again.
What was the highest you paid?
$11.
Where?
In Denmark, in a beautiful square. It was a lovely setting, but $11. And the average price that we paid for coffee in Scandinavia is $7 to $8.
$7 to $8. Hang on, was the coffee any good?
Not as good as Perth.
Really?
No. So we are well served in Perth, and $4 coffee is okay.
Question: coffee compared to Melbourne in Perth?
Oh, coffee's cheaper in Melbourne.
Taste-wise?
Better.
Better where?
In Melbourne.
Yeah, I think so too. Welcome back, mate. Good to have you
Thank
here. Yvonne!
Hello.
Lovely to see you.
Lovely to see you
Welcome
too.
back.
Thank you.
Well, you've been doing any crazy, sexy, cool catwalking competitions? What have you been up to?
Yeah, I did actually. I did a fashion parade on Melbourne Cup Day at the Breakwater Hotel.
Of course. What were you wearing?
Lots of long gowns, and yes, I did trip over one of them on the runway. It was rather embarrassing.
As you do.
But I recovered well.
That's okay. Jen Hawkins did that too, so you're in her league now as well.
I didn't show my underwear, which is very lucky. So
a lot of
for
disappointed
that.
boys in the audience. Welcome back, hun.
Thank you.
Al, no artwork tonight.
No, I didn't bring any.
Because?
Because I've just lost it.
No, you
I
haven't.
don't feel like painting anymore.
You're the best artist I know on the planet.
Oh, thanks.
You got to just...
I know I need to kick up the bum.
Yep. We've got to
going.
market you a little bit more.
Yeah.
Never mind. Have you had a look at the letters tonight?
Yes. I
And?
did. Oh, there's a couple of good ones in there.
Speaking of good ones, hello Daz.
How are you?
Good mate, not too bad. You almost didn't make it tonight.
Almost, yes, almost.
Chicken pox.
My kids got the chicken pox. But other than that, I'm glad to be here.
And we're all not really worried about, the chicken pox at all. Is it contagious? I don't know.
I hope it's not contagious through me. But
I don't know, I'll tell you tomorrow or next week when I start itching. Here we go, letter 1 coming to us from Alex of Coogee of New South Wales. I know in New South Wales it's Coogee, in WA, Coogee. I don't even know if it's spelt similarly. Dear panellists, everyone in Gen Y, we're talking about you, Yvonne, is a selfish, self-centred major a-hole with very few exceptions. I run a retail outlet and have a rental property near the uni that I lease out, so I deal with Gen Ys all the time. They will, without fail, apply for a job, not turn up for the interview, or, once successful, not bother to turn up and start. All without the courtesy of a letter, of letting me know or anyone else know. With renting to them, it's the same. They'll book a time to view the apartment and not bother turning up. My nephew, who's a very clever boy, is dirty on Gen X's and baby boomers because, as he sees it, we've lived the life of plenty and left bugger all for the Gen Ys. And they are all the ones who have to pay for our pensions, etc, etc. Then of course I realised he's just being a Gen Y and wanting everything easy and looking at my generation and feeling that he should be entitled to all that he sees us enjoying. Yet what he doesn't see is how hard and for how long we've worked. Please explain to me, panel, why our kids are like this, and are they capable of changing? As I said, Alex of Coogee in New South Wales. First up, Daz. Do you see all Gen Ys like that?
All Gen Ys? I don't know about all of them, but yeah, I can see a bit of a tendency for sure.
And is it our fault?
No.
Where did they learn all of this?
Well, I get the perspective how they think that we're going to have to they're going to be paying for our pensions. I understand that. I mean,
But that's a perception at this point in time. It's not a reality yet. So why are they...
I believe it. No, I believe it. That's why I'm investing in aged care. That's why I do aged care project manager, because I think that all of us are going to end up retiring soon, and you know those guys are going to be left to pay with a lot.
We'll all be superannuated, and they won't have to worry about it.
Not all of us get superannuated.
Me too.
Yeah, and
But
I
the
lost
majority.
mine, remember?
Not what?
I lost mine in Ansett.
Oh, that's
We
right.
lost a lot,
So you're the one that the Gen Ys are bitching about.
probably.
some of the ones.
What do you say to this Alex of Coogee, New South Wales? Are they capable of changing?
I don't know about change, Alex, but I will tell you this much, that they won't experience life like we do. They're not going to have as many labour jobs as they grow through the mould. So it is going to be different for them, and their persistence and talents and skills like that are going to have to be more refined than perhaps, you know, the previous generation, because they can't get it out physically working as much as what we used to. You look at the retail shops and how they're, you know, self-serve now, so.
Buy now, pay later. Al, what's going on with Gen Ys?
Alex, great name by the way. Everyone in Gen Y, I don't think everyone in Gen Y, I've met a few Gen Ys and some of them are okay. You get the hard-working ones that want to get something in life, but you know, yes, we have worked hard. I mean, I lost my super. I didn't get, well, not all of it, I got some of it, but not what I was supposed to get. And you know, lack of trades are happening. I read somewhere that just to be a mechanic, there's no mechanics trying to get mechanics.
Yeah.
You know,
There are a few
so
taking up the trade.
there's there is work out there for them, but they just got to get off their arse and do it. But I think what's happened is because everything's given to them today, like today's technology. Technology today makes everything so easy, you know, like...
And they expect it to be.
You know, everything's at your touch of your hands, you know, you don't even get up to do anything, I'll just text, you know, like, you know...
They're trained
when we
to
were
be-
younger, we used to wait for a phone call,
Wait.
go to the mailbox to post a letter, wait for the mail. Now everything's email, texting, it's just too easy, too easy.
Yvonne, are you a lazy Gen Y who
I-
expects everything now?
No,
Are you at least courteous?
I am very
Okay.
courteous, I would like to say, without trying to sound, I think that Alex needs to stop being a bit of a fuddy-duddy. I personally am definitely not a normal Gen Y. I am very
Abnormal
old.
Gen Y.
I am. I'm very abnormal. I think I have a very old soul. I don't really like technology very much. I try not to use my phone very much.
Wow.
I don't like using Facebook.
You're an exception then.
I am an exception, and I understand I'm an exception. But I think
Is there a growing number of exceptions?
I try to spread my ideas amongst my friends,
She's on a
a lot
crusade.
of them do. A lot of them do sort of understand it, but I'd like to broaden that, I think. But I think that, Alex, you need to stop overgeneralising, because there are also a lot of really fantastic Gen Ys out there.
Yeah, he's just
And
been burnt.
He has, and I just have to say as well, who do you think spoilt the Gen Y to become this
our
way?
fault.
Exactly, it's the parents. So you need to teach your child respect, and you need to teach young people respect.
It's our fault.
It is, because my parents, I never was handed anything on a silver platter, and I always grew up with a lot of respect for my elders, and I think that that should sort of be more common.
Come on in, Steve. Final word.
I think what Yvonne has said is absolutely wonderful, in the fact that as parents, there's an incredible responsibility to be able to instill those values into your children. Gen Y has only become that way because their parents are giving them those sorts of values. What I think is really important is, if you actually, you know, one of the benefits of having some grey hairs and having travelled a little bit is that you actually see that in Europe what's happening is so many Romanian people, Ukrainian people are moving into countries like Italy and France, and they're taking the job that the Gen Ys there don't want to do. And that is a real issue. These guys have got a need, and they have a hunger for work, they have a hunger for culture and everything, so they will actually move to get jobs. So many of our Gen Y are quite lazy in what they do. And we've got to get over that, and what we need is some hard times to actually help them along the way.
When they need to kick in, they'll kick in. At the moment, it's still relatively easy.
Yeah, look, and I have great confidence in kids. You know, young people are our future.
Got any compassion?
And
Though?
they're wonderful.
Got lots of compassion?
Absolutely.
Should bosses have more compassion?
Ah.
Because when we come back, we're talking about non-compassionate bosses. Don't go away. More of Sweet and Sour. I don't care. You don't care? Alex is singing to me. Welcome back to Sweet and Sour. If you'd like to send us a letter, send it to the address that's about to appear on your screen right now, which is letters@sweetandsour.net.au. There it is. A little bit late. And the movie we're sending you to this week is The Butler, courtesy of our very gorgeous Natalie Cameron, who's now Natalie O'Shea, and NRC Communications. And we'd also like you to give us a big tick and a like on Facebook. There it is, facebook.com/Sweet and Sour. And our website is www.sweetandsour.net.au. Dear Sweet and Sour, she was really compassionate at first, suggesting I take as much time as I need and as many weeks as I need off work. Then my boss turned into a super bitch, and after telling her that I'll be having a hospital procedure on the forthcoming Monday, she said, well, will you be able to work Tuesday? Or what about Wednesday, Thursday or Friday? At 60, it's not as if I'm a teenager and I haven't been a great employee all these years. It's also really offensive that while I have a positive outlook and I'm really going to be fine, I'm actually going in for the first of my chemo treatments, and neither the doctors nor anyone else can tell me precisely how my body will react. Some people are fine without any nausea, others are ill immediately. I'm feeling pressured by her to return to work. The doctors, of course, have no issue validating in written form my illness, but that's not the worrying thing. I've been a contractor at work for years, and my contract is due for renewal in 4 months. Do you think I may be overthinking that my super bitch boss may be concocting a way not to renew the contract, even though she told me 3 months ago and before I was diagnosed with cancer that I will be renewed for another 3 years? Why else do people suddenly lose their compassion in these situations? Comes to us from Belle of Duncraig in WA. Steve, what's going on here?
Belle, your letter doesn't give us too much. It seems to be an isolated incident where your boss has had an issue with you. If it is an isolated incident, then you have to look at it a little bit further. However, it could well be that she was having a tough day on that particular occasion. I think what you really need to do is talk to her and speak to her one-on-one and really try and let her know your issues so that she can then respond to that. I think that people generally are compassionate and would want to be helping out in these sorts of situations, and they're not looking to get rid of you. You may be overreacting, she might have been overreacting because of something that happened on that particular day. If we knew more, then maybe there's more of an issue.
Yvonne?
Yes.
Ever had a mean boss?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
More than one?
No, one more than any that stands out in particular. But I definitely agree with Steve here for this one. People generally do want to be compassionate, but if your boss, for instance, has been put under pressure to make certain amounts of money, it is business still, and she might be feeling the need to want to make cuts and pressure you into going back to work. So I think it's a bit of a shame that people will put business in front of compassion, but
sometimes they have to. They're being pressured to do that as well. Yeah, a little bit of a reverse compassion. You'd be compassionate about her situation as well. Al?
Oh, look, Belle, it's all over. You're 60, you're old, give it
You're
up.
sick as well. That's why she wants to get rid of you.
Who wants to have an old, sick woman in their employment? I'm sorry, love. It's just it. You have to pack up, get your knitting needles out, go to a retirement home and just suck it up.
Cash in your super.
All over, okay? That's all I've got to say. It's all over.
Daz, last word.
Look, it's just, at worst case scenario, Belle, without being too paranoid, it's just a prejudice. I recall my aunt years and years ago failing to get a home loan because she might get pregnant. If you've got a 3-year contract and you've suddenly become ill, perhaps you might be the wounded duck and you might be in the sights, if you get what I mean.
Yeah, there's
You know,
probably a lot
the weak
of that
ones
going
get
through
told
their thinking.
first.
You don't want an old
And it
person
might
in there.
be-
That's it, too bad. When you get
Might
over
be
50,
some
that's it.
senior management who've said, we got a cull,
It's happening quite a lot. So.
and especially now because
You want someone that's competent, that's going to be there. You don't want a Gen Y there because they don't turn
someone
up.
who's got a few more years.
Remember the Gen Ys
They're
don't turn up.
responsible.
Alex, don't forget that the 60 is the new 40.
Oh, yeah, right. In your brain.
So say 60-year-olds.
It is.
When we come back, we're going to be talking about why we don't adopt more. Because they're not around.
Imagine having an
The access to adoption's terrible. When we come back, we'll talk about it now as well. Do what?
You have a little Gary.
Sweet and sour, where first world problems are given all the attention that they deserve.
Welcome back to Sweet and Sour. Straight into it. Hello, Mitch and panel. It's time to stop getting married and having babies. It's becoming irresponsible to do so. We think it marvellous to run down to the cat haven or dog home to adopt abandoned pets in need of a great home, but we haven't a spare thought for the billions or so of kids in the world who live in abject poverty in orphanages around the world who are craving a loving home and family environment. Instead of adding to the world's woes through overpopulation, we could be adopting a very planet and humanity-friendly approach and saying no to having children, when there are already too many in the world going without. The single greatest action we can take to reduce our immense carbon footprint in the Western world is not to have kids, but we don't give it a second thought. It's fat-mindedness for a population becoming fatter every day through greed, consumption, and a total lack of ability to think about the plight of others. So panel, when there are an endless supply of starving, homeless kids in the world, why wouldn't we make it compulsory to adopt instead of producing a whole lot more fat feeders? Margaret of Mosman's Park in WA. Al, first on that. Adopt?
I just want to say thank you, Josie, from Josie's shop. I love this top. I told her I'd say something.
Shameless plug, we don't do
There you
those
go,
on this
it's a
show.
plug. Look, there's too many kids, there's too many people. Just go down to Centrelink and watch all these people come in there and they've got 15 kids around them. They're all theirs because they think, right, $3,000 I get if I have a kid. And a lot of people's mentality, they think, oh, well, you know, I can't afford it. Let's just have a kid and we'll get $3,000 per kid from the government.
The incentive's there to keep on having kids.
And that's where you get the ignorant people. They go, oh, you know, we'll just have a kid. And I've heard them going, oh, you know, just get the government, I'll give you $3,000 to have a kid.
How do you stop that? And should we stop that?
Well, I think that now, you know, I work, I shouldn't tell you, I'm not allowed to say where I work, but I think that we should start, I've got to be serious here, we should start, you know, getting the women and having them all fixed up, and actually men. Let's get the men fixed up so that they can't have children anymore, and that'll solve the problem.
And the adoption
Too many of
issue?
them running around.
The adoption issue
Yeah, but
features
then
where
if
in
you
your answer?
Stop having babies and you won't have these kids that need to be adopted. It's just, you know.
That's
poor
an
little
interesting
kids.
take on
they
this.
show
Emma.
you, They show you these
This
starving
lady's
kids
actually
on
saying,
TV.
stop having kids and go and adopt the ones
Yeah,
in poor countries who
Well,
are
yeah.
starving. And
Yeah, but then
going with that.
they're not stopping those poor countries from having kids. They need to go over there. Actually, I saw a program on TV where this doctor went to the poor countries, I think it was in Africa, and he was giving vasectomies for free. And they were giving them money to have a vasectomy.
Oh, let's
and
all
these
queue up
men
for
had
that.
like 8, 10, 15 kids. He goes, how many kids you got? 16.
Marvellous.
What?
I've got none.
And
I'm
then
in the
they
queue.
want us to adopt them.
Daz.
I really wonder if you've got kids. But what do you say? I mean, I understand the logic that many people will go out and adopt a pet. I know I'm on a pet adoption site, you know, on Facebook. I'm looking for my ideal pet, but I don't know what to tell you. I've got kids. I love my kids, but is it great to just delete, you know, the whole baby making power? I think it was China the other day. Just this week, they relaxed their single child policy.
It's going against human nature too. Are you ever going to stop people wanting to have their own kid?
I don't know.
I don't know whether you can legislate against that. You can slow it down like China did. I don't know, Steve.
Somewhere in the world, a woman is giving birth every 12 seconds. We really have to find that woman and stop her. It really is a serious problem.
Boom, boom.
Actually,
Oh my God, that was a good one.
You're talking about the Western world. The problem is not in the Western world. The problem is in the undeveloped world, and the problem is one of education, one of training, one of communication, and that's something that we really fail as a community to really deal with. You talk about adoption. You know, adoption is an incredibly difficult process for people to go through. So what you're proposing is very noble in some respects, but you try and bring that in and see what sort of issues there would be. You end up with trafficking of young children. It creates all sorts of issues. You know, China has done it with the one-child policy. We definitely need to do it. We need to do something about our population because we have a world that can no longer feed itself. We are rapidly getting to the point we can no longer feed ourselves. We're needing more food, and yes, we've got less arable land to be able to do it. It's a critical issue, and we need a lot more education and a lot more work and a lot more community involvement through so many nations.
This will be your problem, Gen Y.
Yeah, this is something I'm extremely passionate about, and Steve has just beautifully summarised everything that I was going to say. Thank you, Steve.
Good.
I'm sorry.
That's all right, I forgive you. But it's just, I definitely agree that the world really needs to, we are just so overpopulated at the moment, and we need to stop that, and education is key. I love a lot of the work that people are doing at the moment, particularly Bill Gates, and I'll give a big shout out to my friends Michael Sheldrick and Akram Asim, who have just been doing phenomenal work in spreading awareness through education to try and educate people about these problems in developing countries and the problem of overpopulation. But I think that if we are able to have our own children, then that's probably, you know, good, because we can then educate our own children on these issues and get them to help change the world. So
tell me, feeling so strongly about this issue, do you like this letter to give away the pair of limited edition sunnies courtesy of Alon Treves?
I do.
And
yeah.
Aussie Opticals, you do. I haven't talked you into it, have I?
No.
Steve, do you like this one?
No, I was going to go for letter one.
Letter one?
Letter two.
Letter two, Daz?
Oh, I'd probably go for letter number one with Steve.
Oh, guess what? Letter
have a
three over
tiebreaker?
here, letter two over here, and two for letter one. Coming out to Alex of Coogee in New South Wales. That's Gen Y. Is that the one you wanted
that's
now?
the one
Was it?
I
Oh
meant.
no, we got three
Yeah,
for that.
Alex, yay!
There you go. Alex of Coogee, New South Wales, a pair of limited edition
We're from
sunnies.
Perth. We say Coogee here.
Might be spelt differently.
In Sydney, it's
have to check
Coogee.
that.
No,
We've got
it's
to
not.
go. Say goodbye, Alex.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Daz.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Ta-ra, mate. Goodbye,
Thanks for having
Steve.
Bye.
See you
Goodbye,
next time.
Yvonne. Bye-bye. Good night, everybody. Bye-bye.
See ya.
See you later. See you next week. Bye-bye now.